Gaurav Bhatia, so far this Chief Justice has given several judgments against the government. Let me start reading them out. When it was the Aadhaar project, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud dissented against the government. Also, dissent in the Bhima Koregaon arrest, also the electoral bonds issue. Supreme Court's complete disclosure on that was Justice Chandrachud. All this while, he remained the darling of the left ecosystem. All the bails that have been given to senior leaders of various political parties, well, cheers for Chief Justice Chandrachud. What a judge he is. And nothing is going the BJP way. And one puja smashes his record to the ground. Are they being unfair, not just to the Prime Minister, but also to the Chief Justice?
So, Navika, I promised my friend, Tehseen, that I will not talk about Ganesh Utsav and Iftar party. I will not say that biryani and biryani parties are good, but khichdi parties are bad. I will talk about the constitution today. And hear this, my friend. First of all, when it is spoken about separation of power in the constitution, Navika, we need to understand, in the scheme of the constitution itself, the President is administered oath by the Chief Justice of India, and the Chief Justice of India is administered oath by the President of India. Second, these are not watertight compartments. Ours is a very mature democracy. The distance to be maintained is not physical distance. Rather, it is the neutrality that has to be maintained by the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of India, and all Supreme Court and High Court judges. You very rightly said, speaking for the Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud, he gave a verdict in electoral bond case. That verdict, according to the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi, was against the government. So at that time he was neutral. But just because Narendra Modi ji visits him during a Ganesh Utsav or a Ganesh Puja, his neutrality is eroded. Now aspersions are being casted upon him. Second, Rahul Gandhi on foreign soil, Navika, and I say it with some responsibility, just 2 days back said, the judiciary of India is not impartial. He said it's not delivering justice. I am asking, Rahul Gandhi was disqualified, his conviction stayed by the Honorable Supreme Court. So then the Supreme Court was good. But now the Supreme Court is not good because Prime Minister has visited the residence of Justice Chandrachud. Second, we need to understand, Navika, that what the Congress is doing, they're doing great disservice to the nation, because whether the Congress is in power or they're in the opposition, they have a unique habit of destroying our institutions. I want to tell Tehseen, do you know Justice Thipse? Justice Thipse, and I want to show a picture. Look at this picture. Navika, this picture of Justice Thipse is with Rahul Gandhi. Now let me remind Tehseen, Justice Thipse joined the Congress after demitting office just before the Maharashtra elections, and he was the judge who delivered various judgments in the Sohrabuddin Sheikh case and the Best Bakery case. So when it came to the Congress party, Justice Thipse could have joined the Congress. You mentioned the case of Behrul Islam. I would like to tell you, Indira Gandhi is the one who destroyed the judiciary of the country because she wanted a committed judiciary. And in the case of Behrul Islam, another peculiar thing happened. That was, he demitted his office as a High Court judge, and 9 months after retirement, which doesn't happen in usual course, he was appointed as the Supreme Court judge. And after being appointed as the Supreme Court judge, just before the Lok Sabha election, he resigned when his tenure was still left, and he contested a Lok Sabha election. He lost. He was given a Rajya Sabha berth. So much so for the neutrality of the judiciary. And I must say, with some responsibility, Narendra Modi ji has always followed the constitution. Not a single supersession. My friend Tehseen, I will tell you, in the history of independent India, there have been only 2 supersessions. Senior most judge being superseded by junior judges, both in the tenure of Indira Gandhi ji as Prime Minister, and India's loss was this, Navika, that we lost one of the best would-be Chief Justice of India, Justice H.R. Khanna, who is supposed to be one of the best judges that the Supreme Court has produced. So therefore I say, watertight compartments don't work. We gel, we work together for the greater good of democracy.
I am the future that was born 100 years ago. I am the purpose that emerged with India's independence, to be a force for business that makes doing good our business. Towards an independence where knowledge sets us free. To think big and achieve bigger. To take India to the world and the world to India. Creating pathways of self-reliance. To stand for progress, the planet and the people. Towards a future made perfect. And be a force creating abundance. Because independence is not a moment in history. It's a never-ending path to prosperity. Aditya Birla Group, a force for good.
The ethos of India is about being at iftar parties just as you be at Ganpati pujas. So why is everybody in such a twist about this? If KG Balakrishnan going to the iftar party is not a big deal, then Prime Minister going to the Chief Justice's Ganesh Chaturthi, it wasn't as if he was dictating orders and Prime Minister was sitting and actually correcting him during that dictation. So what's the big deal?
So, Navika, first of all, I would like to, one of those extraordinary moments on your show when I agree with Gaurav Bhatia about the shocking record of Indira Gandhi with the judiciary. There is no doubt about that. Justice Khanna, and actually the next Chief Justice is going to be someone who's related to him, if I'm not mistaken. You know,
Sanjeev Khanna, that's right.
Right.
Justice
So
Sanjeev.
Right about that. We are living in the here and now. We are living now, today. It is not my choice. I would like there to be no religion in politics. I'm that kind of a person. It is there. The Prime Minister has a lot of religious function. This episode is more about the Chief Justice than the Prime Minister. You must understand that. The Chief Justice is tasked with preserving the Constitution. Many cases involve citizens or groups claiming that the government is overseeing, the executive is, stepping on certain boundaries, all of that. The Chief Justice, it is more about him actually than the PM going there. It is not about Ganesh Puja. It is not about Iftar. It is about nothing. It is about the Chief Justice of India. Yes, I would say even Prime Ministers should not be engaged in any religious activity. Be they puja, but that is my view. It is not what is happening in the world. Be it, inaugurating temples, that is what my idea of secularism would be. I am a bit like the French, the French idea of secular. I would go for that. But in this case, this episode is about the Chief Justice of India. It is about a certain decorum for, he's not just any judge. He is the Chief Justice. He has so many matters before him.
So he's done his Agni Pariksha by giving so many judgments against the government. That is
neither here nor there.
Why?
I can be excellent at one thing. I can be wrong. There are many judgments of which people critique. You speak to a Kapil Sibal on or off the record.
But that's the point. But that is the real point. The ecosystem, the so-called left ecosystem or the liberal ecosystem, they got a dhakka that this was our guy and how is he defected to the other side? Isn't that your pain point?
No, it is not about propriety. It is about propriety. It is not about...
When has propriety bothered you? Naveen Chawla as Chief Election Commissioner never bothered anybody.
How do you know it didn't bother me, Navika? Have you checked my...
Simply because you didn't write an article about that. You didn't write an article about that. And you're normally very expressive. You normally write about things that are pain points and you're vocal about them, which is why why I find it surprising that you didn't write about KG Balakrishnan being spotted at the iftar party. You didn't write about Naveen Chawla. Propriety issues. Well, Vijay Mallya was also, 1 minute, Vijay Mallya was on the consultative committee of the civil aviation. That was also not something that bothered you.